Happy Sunday. I am just getting some people in the room. Happy Sunday. It is a beautiful day, but it is cold. How was your guys' Sunday? Mine is absolutely incredible. I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. Thanks, Ma. I'm helping my mom with 13 puppies right now, so I'm a little bit tired. But I wanted to definitely get this podcast in. I have been, just thinking about it. The topic is, life's transitions and the reality behind the post. So today we're going to be talking about the transitions, and I'm talking about the real ones. I'm talking about the ones that we so often keep hidden from the world, right? The journeys that we go through, the resilience that we need to navigate those ones, those transitions. I always think about how everybody's going through something when I deal with people in general, because you never know what you're gonna, bump into with other people. So I try to keep in mind, whether the interaction is good or bad, just always keep in mind that everybody's going through something, and the way somebody treats you is usually a reflection of what they're going through themselves, right? So everybody's going through something, whether we can see it or not. On social media, we see people's achievements, people's successes, graduations, things like that, right? But rarely do we see the stuff behind the scenes, right? Rarely do we see the pain, the stress, the anxiety, the uncomfortableness of the transition, of what comes with achieving those successes, those, achievements when you graduate things, right? Because when you go to college and you graduate, it's for a moment. But people don't see the past 2 years or 4 years, the late nights, the studying, the sleepless nights, the stress that goes along with it. I mean, it's a lot, and we rarely get to see those, but we do see the moment where that person shines, right? So today, I want to be transparent, because just like the rest of us, I don't post what goes on, as far as my struggle, because I'm definitely a high energy person. And so when I post to my page, I want people to come to my page and feel high vibrations, high energy. So I'm not going to share the struggle that I've been through, because my struggle might make you feel something. It might trigger something in you, and I don't want to spread low vibrations, right? So I want to talk about just a little bit. I want to talk about my journey the last couple of years, right? Because it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. And I know that I'm not alone in this. And sometimes when we scroll through social media, or we talk to friends or even acquaintances, right? Like, we don't really see the struggle. But we all have our struggles, our moments of doubt, our moments of self-reflection. And so I can only speak based on my experience. So that's why I want to share a little bit with you. So I'll start in 2022. In 2022, I had to shut down one of my businesses. After COVID, we didn't make it through. And that wasn't easy. It was a struggle, because I had put my heart and soul into that thing. That was my baby, right? Like, this was it. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. God's plan. So after that, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to accept what happened and figure it out. I have to pivot. So I decided that real estate was the route that I wanted to go. I wanted to get my license and still be able to help people when it came to the business of home ownership and construction and remodeling. And I wanted to bring my skills into that realm, right? So did that, thinking that this is going to be it, right? I'm not going to have to struggle too much after this, right? No. After I got my real estate license, you know, it's been a journey. Had a couple properties, you know, for sale that I've sold, that I've listed, that we're still waiting to go through. So real estate is still there. Earlier this year, I had to close down another business. And I'm just like, okay, what next? Now I can focus on this. Well, in April, I launched another business with another business partner. And we have been growing that. And if any of you have launched a business, then you already know that it is not something easy to do. And all the while, because I had to pivot and change, I had to get a state job. I had to get a regular job. So all while I'm trying to rebuild, right? I'm still doing everything that I want to do. That I'm keeping my eyes on the goal. I'm staying focused. No matter what I have to do, I'm going to get it done though, right? So all that. And on top of it, planning for the changes coming next year. For those who don't know, I'm going to be making a huge move to the East Coast. And in that, there's so many challenges in itself. Moving across the country to where I really don't know a lot of people. But the few people that I do know, I believe are in my best interest and will be of great support when I get there. But it's a huge change. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like when I am in these situations, when I am under pressure, I perform very well. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the change. I am excited for what opportunities are going to come and what people that I'm going to meet. So behind that, there's also a little bit of fear. And it's not bad. It's normal, because there's always a little bit of fear of the unknown. And me making that move, I don't know what could happen. All I know is I got my plan in place, and, you know, that's all I can focus on. So I'm sharing all of this with you because I want you to know that these transitions, right? These hidden struggles are something that everybody goes through. So even if we don't show the world, right? I think it's a big part of why these transitions can be so hard, is because we feel so alone in these moments, right? Like, we don't want to put these burdens on other people, so we keep them to ourselves in hopes that we can figure it out, right? And, you know, a lot of times we're going through things and we're scrolling through social media and we see all these great moments, and we get caught up in comparison. And you guys, comparison is the thief of joy. You never know what somebody else is going through. And like I said, we only post the things that we want people to see. I feel like social media is a great mask for people, because you get to show people what you want them to see. So, like I said, going through, seeing other people's stuff, and it can also cause thoughts to come into mind, you know, like, why do they have it all together? And why don't I? How come I can't figure it out? You know, things like that. So don't compare your journey to other people's journey. Really focus on you and what you're going through, because the reality of it is that nobody really has it figured out, and everybody is really, really going through something. So be kind to other people. I think this is where the role of our ego kind of comes into, because it's human nature for us to not want others to see our struggles or reveal our insecurities, because when we transition, we don't know. And things may come up that we've never been through before, and it can be a very new place for us and a very insecure place for us, because we care what people think. We got to stop caring what people think so much, right? We want people to think we're strong and we're successful and we're happy and we just live these great lives, right? But when we care about what other people think, you know, it can prevent us from being honest. It can prevent us from being transparent, and it'll stop us from reaching out for support. It'll stop us from being honest with other people who really care about us, about what we're going through. Like, we all literally fight these battles that people know nothing about. So how do we deal with these constant changes? How do we navigate these storms as they come? I can tell you based off of my experience. I will give you a few things. I think the biggest thing, first of all, is acceptance. Accept things for what they are, not what you want them to be, right? Accept that change is a part of life. Like I said, the only constant in life is change. And it's okay to not have all the answers. That doesn't mean that we just sit back and we let life happen to us. No, we accept it. And once we accept it, that means that we can give ourselves the grace to adapt at our own pace, right? And sometimes just taking things one day at a time is all we can do. And that's enough. So, first thing is acceptance. Second thing is solitude. On my journey, this has been one of the greatest things for me, because in solitude, I can really dig deep within myself and reconnect with myself. Like, when we're going through this, take the time to get to know yourself in these transitions. Take time to reflect and welcome whatever's happening for you, because everything happens for us, not to us, right? So during these times of transition, change is going to be inevitable, and staying in tune with yourself becomes an essential part of the journey. Like, you really have to know yourself. Take time to reflect on your spiritual, your emotional, your mental state, and this will help you to navigate this journey with a little more clarity and peace, and may I say ease. It's not really easy, but it'll be a little bit easier, right? Number 3, have a support circle. I can't tell you how important it is, because we already are so shut off to the world. So it's so important to have that group of people that you can really trust, that you can be vulnerable with, that you know that they have your best interests at heart. So if you say something to them, they operate with integrity, and what is said between the two of you stays between the two of you, right? when we share our struggles with people, it can help us to recognize our thoughts and our emotions in the situation. I mean, and even in a small way, it can help lighten the burden, right? It can help you think through the process, think through things. And then it's always good too to get another set of eyes who are not in the situation and can possibly see a little bit more clear than you are, right? When we're honest with our friends and family about what we're going through, it opens up a space for support, right? Sometimes the support that we didn't even know that we had, but all you have to do is open up to somebody that you trust, and it could be a whole floodgate of love. So, you know, you never know. And you might be surprised of how many people, even in your own circle, are going through something similar. So find your support group, people who you know that you can trust with your feelings, your emotions, and that you can trust their wisdom, that they're going to give you great advice moving forward, or even just be a great listener to help you relieve some of the burden. Not that we're saying to put the burden onto them, but just relieve it a little bit off of you, because talking about it helps sometimes, right? And lastly is to find purpose within the transition. It's like finding the lesson in every challenge and every failure, right? Find the lesson. You know, when my business closed, like I said, I put my heart and soul into that thing, and I was just like, man, like I just felt like a piece of me was taken with that business because I had put so much into it. But then after reflecting and thinking about it, I was grateful for everything that I was taught in starting a business and in growing a business. And I accepted that experience was to help me grow further into what my actual purpose is, if that's not it, right? So each step has taught me something new. It's taught me something new about myself. It's taught me new skills and what I'm capable of. I've been able to gain new relationships and new perspectives. So even if we're not exactly where we want to be, we're always growing and we're always changing, and that's powerful. So you guys, I hope that something in this message resonated with you. Life is unpredictable, and that can be scary, but that's also what makes it so beautiful, right? The journey of becoming beautifully you. We're all out here navigating our own paths, making our own mistakes, struggling to get back up, you know, but we're not alone. We're all going through something. So just be gentle, be kind. Don't take social media so seriously. Stop comparing your life to other people. Everybody's on their own journey. So as I wrap up, I want to encourage you, if you are going through something, if you do have a burden, to, you know, reach out to somebody today and just have a conversation. Just talk. Somebody that you trust, somebody that will be there for you. Just open up a little bit. Share some of that. Share a little bit about what's really going on. Maybe, you know, a friend, a family member, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it might be, right? Even if you just journal, because journaling in itself can lift the burden too. It can be freeing to let go of some things, right? So, like I said, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. You are not alone in this. If you feel like something resonated with you in this message, go ahead and press that like button. If you know somebody who might need this message, who might need the encouragement today, make sure you share this podcast. And if you don't already, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Beautifully You podcast, and the link is in my bio. So I appreciate you guys. Have an incredible Sunday. I'm about to get out of here. So peace. I'll see you next time.